Yeah, I was just going through the list. Okay, so if anybody here doesn't know who I am, my name is Antonio Perez. I am a graduate from WHSAD. I graduated last year, and now I'm a freshman at NYIT, New York Institute of Technology, and I am an architecture major. So that's fun. Not really. I'll get into that. It's very stressful, but WHSAD definitely did help like a lot. Um, because of everything I was able to do at WHSAD and all of the like classes I was able to take and programs I was able to learn, I was actually able to skip ahead a couple of classes, which sounds nice in theory. Uh, but then, when you end up taking a graduate level honors architecture program, you don't get very much sleep. So it's fun. I guess on that note, I want to talk about my classes that I have in college. So luckily, I only have 4 classes, and I only have class 3 days out of 7 days of the week, which is very nice. But then again, the classes that I do have, to be frank, they are kind of they're putting in the work. They're getting to me, but it's okay. So I have 2 architecture classes. I have my studio and my visualization class, and they go hand in hand. It's a very, very small class. I have maybe like 7 other kids in those classes, and they're all like older than me because they're all graduate students. I'm an undergraduate freshman, so they're all like in their 20s, and I'm like not even 18 yet. So it's just funny, but it's definitely very like the workload is like it's very much like I mean I knew what I was getting. I knew what I was getting myself into when I was like, let me do architecture in college. Like I knew it was gonna like be like a walk in the park. But definitely, I'm not sure if any of you are familiar with just like the common saying that like, oh, if you're an architecture major, like you just don't get any sleep. Well, yeah, it's true. Like, I guess I just wanted to show you real quick the camera. Like a couple of weeks ago, I had to like make this model, and it looks pretty bad because it's like in really bad shape. But anyways, like I had to make that model, then I had to make like 2 more of these. Oh, let me flip the camera back. And I had to like do all of that, and then do a bunch of digital drawings in Rhino, and then in Adobe, in like 3 days. So, and like on top of that, I have like other classes and like what is a social life. But yeah, it is a lot of work, but I definitely am learning. And, with WHSAD, I couldn't like be more grateful for WHSAD, just because it really, like a lot of the stuff that we're going over now, we're learning now, is stuff that I'm already familiar with in a way. Like Rhino, shout out Codio and Rodriguez. I already was familiar with Rhino. Since like junior year, I had really started working on Rhino. So now that I'm working on Rhino in college, I don't really have to go through a lot of the struggles that my other classmates are going through because I already know how the program works and I know my way around it. So it definitely does come in handy. And and yeah, I mean, other than architecture, I have a civic engagement course, which is like my English requirement. That's interesting. And, shout out AP exams because of the AP test. Miss Fields, thank you. I passed the AP exam, and from that I got a credit, so I was able to skip my freshman writing class. So the class I'm in now, I think, is like a sophomore prereq or something. I don't know exactly, but I was able to skip a couple courses. What do you get for passing A push? I failed A push, so I wouldn't know. But it's different for each school. The requirements are different. So I know my school accepts 3s, but yeah, like Rhino is very important. Like if you're planning on majoring in architecture, like you should definitely like learn Rhino, brush up on your AutoCAD, work on your Adobe, and yeah. I mean, I don't really have that much to say. If anybody wants to ask me any questions, the floor is open. Please ask me questions. Hold on.
Antonio, are you using
Yeah.
your phone or your laptop?
No, I'm on my phone.
Oh, okay. I was wondering if you could sort of show us some of your rhinoceros models.
Oh, I probably should have. I probably should have prepared something more formal. I don't.
No worries, no worries.
I could definitely like.
Maybe for another time.
Yeah, of course. Like I could definitely. I have like everything digital, obviously, so it's very easy to share. I just don't really have any of that on me right now. But it definitely. Thank you for making me learn Rhino because it definitely did come in handy. Like
you're very welcome. I only planted seeds.
Yeah.
You took it from there.
Yeah. And yeah, it's fun. I mean, like I said, I'm not getting much sleep, but I never really did get much sleep anyways, so it's not too big of a deal. But like 2 weeks ago, when I had my midterm project, I was literally like waking up, working, going to sleep, working and waking. It was crazy. But I kind of enjoy that. It's very exciting. Not like in like a nerd type of way, but it's it's fun. Like it is stressful, like the making the models and stuff, but I do find like I try to find like some sort of positive out of it, and I definitely am learning, and so yeah, it is what it is.
For sure. How are you finding inspiration these days when it comes to the creative work that you're putting into your project?
Definitely like just like the world around me and like just my environment, really, like going outside, because obviously I can't really go anywhere, not even because of COVID, just because I'm busy. So like just like looking around my house or like the music I listen to, sketching. I'm gonna be honest, in high school I wasn't really much of like a sketcher, or like I was just kind of like I wouldn't really do that. But now, like anytime like I get any type of thought or like inspiration, or I hear something I like or see something, I write it down, and it definitely like it helps like fuel the creative thinking process. And I think it's just great because it's just like when I'm doing my homework, like I'll listen to music and I'll hear something, and like I'll just like visualize it and try to like put it like into like somehow use what I'm hearing or seeing and put it into my work, if that makes any sense. But yeah, definitely like looking at the world around me is very helpful in terms of like creating my designs.
Also, are there any other like architects that you're studying right now at the moment?
Well, you said architects?
Yeah. Any architects that you're looking into their work?
At the moment, not necessarily. I know in the we were talking about we were doing some research and just like looking at the work of Le Corbusier for a little bit.
Yes,
so that was fun. Right now, though, not at the moment. Obviously, Zaha Hadid. It's my favorite. But yeah, we were reading a little bit. We were, every now and then we do have to do like some readings. We were reading like this essay by Stan Allen. He's an architect, so we were just like researching that and just like kind of like dissecting what his book was about. That I I don't mean this like in a rude way, but I like it's not too interesting to me personally. Like hearing, I understand the importance of it, but personally,
right,
I don't really find it that intriguing. Like hearing what other people have to say, especially like when it's like so. I don't know, but
yeah, I mean, there's some value in some of their insights, course. Specifically because they've gone through the process, right? And some architects have been in the field for many years,
there definitely is.
There's always something to get out of it, right? Even though, of course, there's this sort of progressive thought that's like innovative and stuff like that you can find in other places. Yeah.
Antonio.
So besides architecture, Antonio, I don't know if I'm interrupting anyone else's questions, but I'm just curious. What about any drawing techniques that you're applying?
What was that?
Any drawing techniques that you're applying into your work when you're sketching and when you're, any of the sort of visual, what are some of the representations?
So I definitely do like a lot of sketching, but like a lot of the drawings that we require for class are we usually have to do like our plans, our axonometrics, our isometrics.
There you go.
Like everything. Like if it's any type of drawing, we probably require it, just because it's like so. We have to basically do all our drawings in Rhino, and then we transfer it to Adobe Illustrator, and we make it look all nice, and then we put it on our Miro board. But like if it's any type of like drawing that could show your work, we probably just have to do it just because, like, you know.
Gotcha. All right, so I have some questions from here. Unless Mr. Kennedy, you had a few things to say, I was just going to read a couple of questions here from the chat box.
Well, I wanted to ask Antonio. Antonio, can you give us some insights as to the feedback you've gotten from professors and how it compares to the feedback you got from your high school teachers? Is it more critical, constructive? Like, will they call you out if, you do something wrong instead of like, cushioning the blow a little bit, kind of be more straight up with you?
Right. No, they're definitely very blunt. Like, there's no like sugarcoating or like, there's no like sandwiching where they're like, oh, I didn't like this, but I like this. Like, no, it's just like they'll be very blunt about it. Like, if something doesn't work, they'll tell you like that's not working, and like, but they're not like just like so strict about it. Like, they'll be like, okay, this isn't working, but here's like what you can do to fix it, and then they give like very like valuable feedback. And also, since our class is so small, we all like get to give each other like feedback, and it's more of like a discussion than it is like a critique. Although that's not saying that there's like no critiquing, because there definitely is a lot of that. Sometimes it's a little harsh, but it definitely.
Harsh is good. Harsh is good.
No, I was about to say harsh is good. Harsh is good, because then that's like how you learn and how you improve. So you just got to get used to it. At first, I was like a little caught off guard, because I was like, that was kind of mean. But now I'm used to it. I'm very appreciative of all the feedback that I get. Like, and I'm like extremely receptive to it, because like, listening to the feedback is essential to like, okay, if they're saying this might work better, then let me like try it. Because sometimes a lot of the feedback I do get makes my designs like all that much better. So, definitely is worth it listening to feedback and, being able to take it.
Are you engaged in any sort of collaborative work with your classmates, and how is that dynamic these days, now that you've been doing the work remotely?
Yeah. We don't like necessarily like directly collaborate on projects, because all our projects are solo, but we do like outside of class, we do share a lot of our ideas and like inspire each other in ways. And like we have discussions outside of the classroom where we could talk about the designs or how we can improve them, or just like kind of help each other learn. And like, okay, like for example, if someone wasn't too sure about what the professor was talking about in like a certain part of the lecture, we could all like talk about it and kind of like help each other better understand. So I feel like that's like the way we collaborate as students, and it's definitely very interesting. It is unfortunate though, because obviously we're not in person, so there's not really that connection. But I definitely am enjoying it, and we're all like we're working with what we have, so I think that's great.
Yeah, that's all we can do, right?
Yeah.
Anyone else?
I think there are some questions in the comments. Let's see. Okay. So Megan said, so yeah, I answered that already. Geo? Yeah, so it's the AP scores that schools take, it's different for each school. Like, for example, I know my school, for the APs they did accept, they took all threes. So any AP test that I got like a 3 or above on, they took my scores for. So AP Human Geo, English, yeah, I think that was it. But yeah, so like a 3 or above for NYIT. But I know, for example, one of my friends, he goes to Dartmouth. He had like a couple 3s, they didn't take it. They're taking only 4s, or some of them only took 5s, like for certain AP tests. So it definitely depends on what school you're like trying to go to. You should definitely research that. And what design classes do they have, and what's the GPA minimum? Okay. They have like a couple. They have, since it is like a technology and like design based school, they have a lot of classes and courses in that, like in that field. Specifically, like they have graphic design, they have architecture, interior design. So they have a lot of courses that range in the design field. I don't know all of them, but there definitely is like a lot of interesting ones if you like want a more specific answer, you could just look it up. I feel like that'd be more helpful. If you just look up like NYIT design courses, and then you could just see like the course calendar, because it definitely is very interesting, and I can't wait like for next semester, because I know I'm taking like a history of architecture class, which is going to be, I'm excited for that. And what's the GPA minimum? That I do not know. That you're definitely going to have to look up. But yeah. And I'm not sure if you said, but NYIT, New York Institute of Technology, yes, they have graphic design. And how do you manage to work constantly? Is there a specific schedule you go by? Can it be overbearing? Yes. I am, right now, at the moment, I'm extremely overwhelmed because my professor emailed me all the work I have to do for Thursday and Monday. And then I also have 2 other work studies. So I have 2 work studies, and then I have, all this other like work, and also like my personal life. So it does become overwhelming, like a lot. I just try to take it, one day at a time, and just see, like, go down the schedule. So I'll see like what I have due tomorrow. Obviously, it's like top priority. But then I'll also look at, okay, like I have 4 models and digital drawings due Monday. It would be a good idea for me to start that like at least on Thursday, so that way I can like pace myself correctly and not let myself get overwhelmed. Because I feel like a mistake I made early on, I was like, all right, if this is due Monday, then I'll just do it Sunday. But it's like, I'm going to be working all day Sunday, and do I really want that? No. So I feel like the key is to like just pace yourself and just see, get a planner. Like a planner is like so like, it's so helpful because you could like put everything down and like visually see it. Because like usually I would just keep everything in my head, be like, okay, this is due tomorrow. Then I have 2 like math assignments due on Thursday. But then I was just kind of like forgetting. 1, I'd forget about it. Or 2, I just wouldn't, properly give myself the time to do everything the way I should have. So yeah, getting a planner and putting it down and planning it out, okay, I'm going to do this today. And this day, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to, take a day for myself. Something like that. So yeah, I think that's great. And how do I manage to work constantly that's how. It does get very stressful, and like there are times you're going to want to quit. Like I think like 3 weeks ago, I wanted to change my major. Like I was so stressed out. I was like, I can't do this anymore.
They'll probably continue to poke you throughout the weeks here. As it gets more intense. Because it will get more intense.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
But you're conditioning yourself to this type of work, and then later on, this work will get easier for you.
Yeah. It's just trial and error. You gotta just go with the flow. And of course, you're welcome. And one thing I really want to stress: apply for scholarships. Like, please apply for scholarships. I don't sound like annoying or like a guidance counselor, but like apply for scholarships, and like it doesn't, even if you don't think you're going to get them, like apply. Like if you get emails from like anybody, just please apply, because it's just like just apply for scholarships, because you're going to like want to have like that financial aid and those scholarships, because like it's just convenient. And also like I applied for the scholarship. I didn't think I was going to get it, and I ended up getting it. And that like ended up being money that I could get like in form of a refund. So I ended up getting that money for myself. And like college is like crazy expensive. And, obviously like if you're like, I don't know your exact situation, but like depending on your situation, you might want to like, if your parents are paying, you might want to like be able to help them, or just like not have to like, if you're doing loans, like I don't know, but like just please like apply to scholarships. I know it may seem like it takes like a lot of time or it's like a waste of time, but just do it anyways, because I wish I would have applied to more scholarships. Just really please do apply to scholarships, or like just try to like, do your FAFSA, do your TAP, like do all of that. Yeah, please do. It's just it's so important.
Sorry, Antonio. Do you recommend that at grade level? Do you recommend at least starting to think about that?
So like as soon as possible. I mean, if you're a senior, you should definitely get on that. like ASAP, ASAP, because but for me personally, when I was like a junior, I was like, I should probably start thinking about scholarships. So then I was like, I'll do it next month. SAT came, I'll do it next month. And then I was a senior, and then I was like, I'll do it next month. Next month never came. I never did it. So I think you should just do it before it starts getting too crazy, because obviously you're gonna have like a lot of, like, if you're a junior, you have SATs, APs. If you're a senior, you have to do like all these applications. So I think, you just gotta find that time. If you're a junior, if you're a senior, find that downtime. Maybe do it a little bit over the weekend. Maybe do like an hour after school. But yeah, I don't think it's ever too early to start looking into that. Obviously, if it's like for a certain grade level and you're like not old enough or whatever, then like obviously you can't start working on that yet. But if you meet the requirements, I think you should just go for it. That's just my personal opinion. But yeah.
All right. I have one last question, I think, from myself. So what is your overall thought on, on the importance of students being engaged in work-based learning? Do you think that played some sort of a role in your high school life? Being part of work-based learning projects. So remember, you were part of the Bishop Hotel, you were part of other projects with Mr. Codio. These are projects outside of your regular classroom.
Right. I think like doing all of those like extracurriculars and being engaged outside of class is so important. That's like what made me realize like what I wanted to do in college and what I wanted to major in and the type of internships I wanted to get, and it just made me realize like what it was that I liked. And I think that's extremely important, because if I had just never like done any extracurriculars or just like did my classes and then went home and that would have been it, maybe I would have been doing like something else or like another major, and I wouldn't have found what I liked. But like participating in all these extracurriculars and all these stuff outside of class, I was able to realize all this stuff that I liked. And like for an example, I realized that I liked presenting because like I would do so many presentations for Rodriguez and Codio, or like environmental stuff to do with like the environment. When we do projects like Lake Como, or but like just like participating in these extracurriculars made me realize what it was that I liked, and I think that's so important. And like especially for not speaking for my friends, Ariana, she would be participating in the same programs and extracurriculars that I participate in, and it kind of made her realize, hey, maybe I don't want to do this. And that's also like a great thing, because
right, that's a good thing. You're right, that's a really good point you bring.
Yeah,
at least realize whether this is for you or not, right? Or whether
because you don't want to go into college, and choose this major that you don't really want to do, and then kind of be stuck and just not happy, because that's also not something you want to do. So I think it's good, because you could learn, you could find out you like something, or you could find out you don't like it, and then you don't have to do it. And I think that's like a great thing. And also like you could like meet people and do like networking. Like if we like, let's say like you do ACE and like you end up clicking with somebody from Gensler, maybe you can get like an internship there or something. Not that happened to me. That was like an example. But yeah, it's great. It's great being able to like participate and do these extracurriculars. And also, if you go with friends or you work with friends, it could like help build up like a stronger relationship with your peers, and you get to like better know each other and understand each other. So I think that's cool. I don't really think there's any like downsides to participating in extracurriculars. I mean, other than like if maybe it's like you do too much and then you don't have enough time, which is like kind of like an issue I had. But I don't, just no one's forcing you to do it either. Like, I think you should just do what you feel comfortable doing and just be happy, enjoy it.
Thank you, Antonio. Thank you.
Yeah. Does anybody else have any other questions? Oh, wait, let me check the chat. For chem, how do you deal with it? Like, how did you, okay. I don't have chemistry in college. Like, that's not a course that I'm going to take. So yeah, I mean, I can't really speak on that, but I know I have a friend who's taking junior. Okay, yeah. So when I took chem, I actually took. Did I take chem? Yeah, I took chem junior year. I had Miss Bowie. It was definitely very stressful, but Miss Bowie was a great teacher. Obviously, she's no longer here. She left when I was a senior, so I don't know exactly about your teacher, so I can't really speak directly to that. But WHSAD has amazing teachers. They're all there to help you, no matter what. And obviously, we're in very trying times, so I think they'll understand. Just talk to them. Office hours. I'm not sure if that's a thing anymore because of COVID. I don't know how that works, but
it's virtual.
Okay.
It's still a thing, my good friend. Still a thing.
Okay. Well, yeah. Then hop into office hours. Don't be afraid to ask for help. These teachers are here for you, here to help you. They want to see you succeed. So don't be afraid. They're not going to bite. So just ask for help. Or if you know somebody who's one of your friends or a peer who's really good in that class, you could always ask them for help. So yeah, just don't be afraid. Because I'd rather you ask, the teacher or somebody for help and get that help and then do better in the class than you be afraid to ask and then fail, because we don't want to see you fail.
Antonio, quick question.
Yes.
Are you now that you are, of course, are you developing your college portfolio for architecture?
Yeah. Slowly but surely.
Have they spoken to you about developing your portfolio for college, architectural?
No. I mean, we spoke about it in the beginning. I think once we get more towards the end, that's something that we're going to talk about.
Do you recommend students preparing their portfolio as soon as possible?
I'm sorry, you cut off on my end. What did you say?
Do you recommend that students pick up on trying to build their portfolio as soon as possible, or should they just wait?
You asked if students should start building their portfolio?
Right.
Oh, yes, for sure. Because I feel your portfolio it grows with you, and the more projects you do, you're gonna add stuff, you want to change stuff. But also just start working on your portfolio, because you also don't want to be a senior and then have nothing, and then you're gonna have to scramble to put stuff together. It's just gonna be a mess. So I think the earlier the better. If you could start working on it now, even if it's something light, just drafting it in your mind, or being okay, I want to put this piece from freshman year here, or I want to brush up this piece. Just start thinking about it. Even if it is just a thought, or if it's something that you just write down. I think it's really important. I wish, Codio, Rodriguez, Moose, Geringer, everyone was telling me, don't forget to work on your portfolio. Don't forget to work on your portfolio. I'm yeah, I'll do it, whatever. And obviously that's something that I did end up doing, but towards the end. And, I would have rather had taken my time with that personally, because it is something that's so important. Obviously, if you're applying to a design school, or if you're trying to present yourself to the outside world, your portfolio is going to be a reflection of yourself, and you want it to be, as good as possible. So it definitely isn't something that you want to rush or put together last minute. It's definitely something that you want to develop over time, and just put a lot of thought and care and effort into. So if you can start it now. It's not going to hurt you. It's only going to help you.
Antonio, let me just get a question here as your former English teacher and advisor with the school newspaper, which you didn't even mention. But, the amount of writing that you did at WHSAD was really you were one of the students who wrote the most. Are you doing any writing in the architecture program? Are you expected to do artist statements, papers? I imagine in the history of architecture class that you'll be taking next semester, you'll be expected to write, lengthy papers or something to that effect. Have you had any of those types of assignments yet?
Right. Well, with the bigger assignments that I have in my studio course, such as my midterm, or whenever we have to make models, we do have to do writings that go along our assignments, just so we could like just express another statement, essentially, just like express what our work is about, its meaning, how the piece ties together, the duality, like it's just a bunch of like aspects about it. So there definitely is writing incorporated into the course because, well, writing is like important, especially if you're trying to like explain what your work is about. Outside of because I only have 4 classes, and in my calc, I'm obviously not doing any writing. In my visualization class, I'm just learning programs, so there really is no writing aspect there, at least as big as it is in the studio. But then in my 4th course, which is my Foundations of Inquiry, which is my Civic Engagement course, that definitely is, we do more writing there because we talk about, the government and economics and the way the world is. And all of that. So definitely is more writing there. Like I had to write a letter to my congresswoman of my district. So we do like stuff like that. So it definitely is like a lot of writing. And also like, although there are other like majors too that are like very writing intensive. Like one of my friends, Edson, he's a criminal justice major and he has to do like a crazy amount of writing like all the time. So it definitely does like vary from major to major. I don't have to do too much writing, like, anything crazy yet, but like, next semester I am going to be doing like Kessner said, the history of architecture, which is definitely going to be very writing intensive. So I'm excited for that. But yeah.
Anyone else? Questions? Nope. Well, this Antonio is very informative. Thank you for giving us a taste of your first couple of months at college, and we look forward to hearing more as to how you're progressing in the school. And yeah, once we finally get back and in person, please come in and see us and see what we've got going on, and let us know how you're doing.
Yeah, of course. It was a pleasure, being able to be here today and talk to you all. If anybody has any other questions outside of this, my email, should I put my email in the chat? Let me put my email in the chat. Yeah, if anybody has any questions, I'm always here. What?
He's just, I don't know, he's making noises over there.
Okay. Yes, I'm going to put my email in the chat.
Antonio.
Yes.
Quick question. Are any students presenting their designs with actual 3D models at your school or no?
Yeah. We all have to because we work in Rhino. So I'll forward you all examples of the type of work that we showcase in class, just so you can all see. But we do do 3D models. We do plans, sections, axonometrics, isometrics, physical models. Hold on for my camera. Like this. We do stuff like that on a frame. Oh shit! We do stuff like this. Oops! I see I broke it. Oops. But yeah, that type of fun stuff.
All right, thank you so much. Let Ariana visit us soon, please. Okay.
What happened about Ariana? What?
Have Ariana visit us sometimes. I know she's very busy.
She's in Buffalo. She's far.
I'm talking about online. Visit online.
Right. Okay, yeah, no, I'll let her know. I'll tell her to call you.
No problem.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
All right. Thanks, Antonio. I guess everyone else stay on.
Thank you so much, Antonio. Have a great one, man, and best of luck out there.
Bye. Thank you. Good luck.